guys, so I am here to talk to you about lesson 4 in our multiplication chapter. So I'm going to want you to go ahead and grab your workbooks and turn in your workbook to page 211. So if you need to pause the video to do that, go ahead and do so. Alright, so in lesson 4, we're going to continue talking about multiplication. The whole chapter is about that. But today we're going to focus a little bit more on arrays, okay? And what I want to talk about before getting into arrays is something that is super important to multiplication and array making in general, and it's something that I think gets overlooked. So, before we even start, I want to talk to you about rows and columns. Okay, a row is something that goes side to side horizontally. Okay, rows go this way, side to side. A column goes up and down vertically. Okay, so say it with me. Rows go side to side. Columns go up and down. You may be asking yourself, why is that important, Mrs. Stephen? Why do I care about that? So partly why that is so important is because as we are making arrays, you're going to need to know which way are rows and which way are columns to set up your multiplication problem, okay? Our first blank is always going to be our rows. So you need to know rows go side to side so that you know which one to count first. So one more time, because I want to hammer it into your brain. Rows, side to side, columns, up and down. All right, now we can get started. Okay, let's look at example 1. Okay, actually, let's rewind. Let's look at the definition. An array is a group of objects arranged in equal numbered rows and equal numbered columns. Arrays can help you multiply. So equal is the key word here. In order for something to be an array, there has to be equal numbers. This is an array. I have 1, 2, 3 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4 columns, okay? My rows are equal, my columns are equal. What about that? Is that an array? It's not, because look, these only have 2 blocks in them. These have 3, so it's not equal, okay? A quick and easy way to kind of check for it is, does the shape of your array make either a square or a rectangle? If it does, there's a good chance that it's equal. All right, now let's look at example number 1. Mrs. Roberts baked a batch of bagels. It's like a tongue twister. She arranged the bagels in 3 equal rows of 4 bagels each on the cooling rack. How many bagels did she bake? So it says find the total number of bagels. Use counters to model the array and then draw it. We're going to skip the counter part because I don't have counters. They're really difficult to do on the board. If you have them at home, absolutely. You can use Cheerios or Goldfish crackers, anything like that. Okay, so she arranged the bagels in 3 equal rows. So I'm going to put 1, 2, 3. Okay, these are the start of my rows. My rows are going to go this way. So like there's 1, 2, 3. There are 4 bagels in each row. So now I have to make sure I put 4 bagels in each row. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now let's double check. Do I have 3 rows? 1, 2, 3. Do I have 4 bagels in each row? 1, 2, 3, 4. We did it. We just created an array, okay? So how many rows are there? 3. You can go ahead and fill this in your workbook with me. 3 rows of 4. Okay? So that's how we build our array. Remember I said it's important to know rows? 3 equal rows. So that means I had to have my rows going this way. 4 in each row. That's a column. So 4 going that way. Okay? So how am I going to use this to figure out the answer to that problem? What can I do? Oh, I can count the bagels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay? I could just count them regularly. I could count by groups of 4. 4, 8, 12. I could count by groups of 3. 3, 6, 9, 12. All of it involves counting, whichever way is the easiest for you. So our unknown is 12, okay? Now, if I wanted to write this as a multiplication problem, my first blank would be how many rows I have. 1, 2, 3. Okay, my first number is always how many rows. My second number is how many are in each row. 1, 2, 3, 4. And my answer is how many are there total. There's 12. 12 total. All right, let's look down at the bottom here. It goes into a little more detail about that. It says you can use repeated addition or multiplication to find the answer. So one way that you can do is you can add, okay? So when you're adding repeated addition, the first thing you want to do is go back to how many rows do you have? I have 3 rows, so that means I need 3 blanks. They already gave them to you. What number do you think I'm going to put in each one of those blanks? Yeah, I'm going to put how many are in each row. So 4, here's a group of 4, plus 4, plus 4 equals 12. Okay, that's repeated addition. I just am kind of putting them into groups. 4 plus 4 plus 4. Okay, I got my 3 blanks because there's 3 rows. My numbers are how many are in each row. However, I could also multiply. Okay, and multiplying would be looking at how many rows I have, just like up here, times how many are in each row, and my answer doesn't change. I'm still going to have 12 bagels, okay? So let's fill this in together. So 3 rows of 4 is 12, okay? 3 rows of 4 is 12. Or our multiplication fact is 3 times 4 equals 12, okay? And then the unknown, which was this little number up here, how many did she have, is 12. Mrs. Roberts baked 12 bagels. All right, let's flip our page over and take a look at the next example. Okay, so now we're looking at example 2, okay? We turn the page, we're on page 212, right up here. One page of Elsa's photo album is shown. Here's her photo album. Write 2 multiplication sentences to find how many photos are on the page. So this is where we're going to play into that commutative property of multiplication. We already talked a little bit about that. Okay, we're going to use that property to write 2 multiplication sentences. All right, if we look at it this way, I'm going to count how many rows are there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 rows. Okay, go ahead and fill that in. How many are in each row? 2. How many pictures are there total on the page? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8. So if my array is drawn this way, kind of going up and down, my multiplication fact says 4 times 2 equals 8. What if I flip it and turn it the other way? Then it looks like this. So now, how many rows do I have? 2. How many are in each row? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many are there total? 8. So this is us using the commutative property of multiplication. It doesn't matter if we have 4 times 2 or 2 times 4. Either way, my answer is 8. I have 8 pictures on there. So let's read over that. The commutative property of multiplication says the order in which the numbers are multiplied does not change the product, okay? So I could write 6 times 4 equals 24, and I know that if I flip my numbers to 4 times 6, doesn't matter, my answer is still 24, okay? Just like this picture, picture album. If it's this way, there's 8 pictures. If we turn it this way, still 8 pictures. All right, what you're gonna do now is you're going to do numbers 1 and 2 down at the bottom on this page and complete all of this page, and then I'll go over it with you.